The Clemson Tigers, ranked number 2 in the country, come in today against a Duke team who's quietly 7-3. They already have a top 25 upset win against Northwestern earlier in the season on the road. Let's see if they can get another one as we start with the home team starting lineups. Starting at quarterback today, Trevor Lawrence, a freshman phenom, taking over after Kelly Bryant announced his transfer, and Travis Etienne will be the tailback behind him, while Milan Richard will be the tight end, receiving passes from Trevor Lawrence, T. Higgins, Amari Rogers, Hunter Renfrow. Those are the 3 starting wide receivers. And the 2 starting tackles go left side, Mitch Hyatt, and right side, Tremaine Ankrum. On the guard, you got left side, John Simpson, and Gage Cervanka is going to be the right guard. At the center today will be Justin Falsini as well for Clemson, and they'll be taking on a solid defense in Duke, who is led by defensive ends Drew Jordan and Victor Demuka J, and we are almost getting set to kick off. Derek Tangelo is going to be the defensive tackle with Trayvon McSwain. Weak outside linebacker is going to be Joe Giles Harris, and the middle linebacker is Ben Humphreys. Brandon Feemster is going to be the cornerback on one side, while Michael Carter is going to be on the other one. And they like to run 3 safeties as different positions: the B back, the S back, and the R back, with Marquise Waters as the B, S being the Leonard Johnson, and Lumi Young, the 4th, is going to be the R. Now for the offense for the Duke Blue Devils, Daniel Jones, the starting quarterback here today for Duke. And also you got Deion Jackson behind him at running back, the sophomore, but redshirt sophomore Britton Brown getting a lot of carries this season. Jonathan Lloyd, Chris Taylor, and T.J. Raming are going to be your wide receivers, while the tight end is going to be Daniel Helm. On the offensive line, the tackles are Christian Harris on the left side, and right side, Robert Kraling. As the guards go, it will be Zach Harmon on the left side and Racavius Chambers on the right side. Jack Wollaball will be the center as well today for Duke. And now for the starting defensive lineup for the Clemson Tigers. Cleveland Farrell is going to be the defensive end, also Austin Bryant on the other end, while Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence are the 2 defensive tackles. Isaiah Simmons is going to be the strong outside linebacker, Kendall Joseph the weak outside linebacker, and Trey Lamar is going to be the middle guy. And A.J. Terrell and Trayvon Mullen is going to be the cornerbacks today. Kayvon Wallace and Tanner Muse are the safeties. Will Spires will be the punter today. Greg Hugel is going to be the place kicker. Long snapper Patrick Phibbs. Will Sweeney, is going to be the holder. B.T. Potter is going to be the kickoff specialist. Amari Rogers and Cole Renfro are going to be the punt returners. And Darian Kendrick and Adam Choice are going to be the kick returners, with no injuries and, of course, no Kelly Bryant. That's the only guy listed. Now for the special teams of the Duke Blue Devils. Colin Wareham is going to be the place kicker. Austin Parker, the punter. A.J. Reed is going to be the kickoff specialist. Ben Wyatt is going to be the long snapper. Jackson Hubbard, holder. Deion Jackson, the kick returner. And T.J. Raming is going to be the punt returner alongside Jake Bobo. The Duke Blue Devils come in today from Durham, North Carolina, and they come in under head coach David Cutcliffe, holding a 7-3 record overall, 3-3 in conference, which is a tie for 4th in the Coastal. They run a multiple offensive scheme with a defensive scheme of a 4-2-5. Now out here in Clemson, South Carolina, Memorial Stadium, which seats 81,500 people on this grass surface, coached by Dabo Swinney, is at 10-0, 7-0 in conference. Clemson Tigers, who are currently clinched first in the Atlantic Conference and going to the ACC Championship in a couple weeks with the spread offensive scheme and a defensive scheme of a 4-3. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys at the end of this break here. Stay tuned for more college football action. And by the way, Clemson's name is going to be in purple today because, of course, today is the purple out for Clemson. So stay tuned for that. Night game here in Clemson, South Carolina. Clemson is undefeated in the conference with a win today against the Duke Blue Devils. Duke, of course, coming off a struggling win against a very poor North Carolina team, as here comes the kick for Duke. Sends it off as Amari Rogers is going to be deep to return. This is not Rogers, sorry, this is Feaster. Feaster from the end zone, taken down at the 21. He runs into his own blocker. So here comes the freshman Trevor Lawrence, number 16, out onto the field. He's had a very good season, 19 touchdowns. That leads the ACC since he's come in and started. The 6'6", 215-pound freshman from Cartersville, Georgia, broke all the records that Sean Watson set in Georgia in high school, as Travis Etienne is going to be the running back behind him, and now motions Etienne back to throw. Looking left side, quick throw. It's going to be caught by T. Higgins, getting near the sticks, and a first down out to the 32-yard line for the Clemson Tigers, sporting these purple jerseys, taken down by Feimster. And we will talk about Brandon Feimster, maybe one of the better defensive backs that Duke has in a solid defense for the Blue Devils, but nothing that fantastic. Not elite talent for sure. Etienne to the right side, trying to stiff arm, and Etienne swung down after a gain of 1. Again, Feimster is right there, but the man who gets the main tackle there is going to be Victor Demikuje. The Mook gauge, and it will be a 2nd down and 9. Michael Carter, another cornerback to watch for. He's going to be covering T. Higgins on this play. Here's a snap, play action, back to throw, throws quick to Renfro, and Renfro is going to be wrapped up and taken down by Michael Carter at the 41, a yard short of the first down. So here we go, a 3rd and 1. First time we're going to see this Duke defense tested. A little bit past the 40, not quite at the 41 though. 39th consecutive game with a reception for Hunter Renfro, the senior, a longest streak in school history. 2 guys wide right, 1 guy wide left. Etienne to the right side. They're going to run a screen. It's off the hands of Renfro. And a big stop for the Duke Blue Devils. As in coverage, Leonard Johnson, the freshman safety, coming up and delivering a blow to make sure that that ball was not secured by Hunter Renfro, and it will be a punt coming up here for Clemson. But, you know, this isn't going to be concerning for Clemson because they've been in situations before where they've punted on their first drive and got a big win as well. Spires is going to be the kicker, as TJ Roming is going to be the kick returner. Spires' snap is good. He gets it off cleanly. And here's Roming from the 10. Is not going to call a fair catch. He's going to take it, and he's dropped down after losing a couple yards at the 9 near the middle of the field in a good tackle by A.J. Terrell. So 3.6 sacks per game, which is tied second in the FBS for this front four, which is led by Austin Bryant. Also got Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins, and Cleveland Farrell. So here we go with a first down and 10 coming up for the Duke Blue Devils. Daniel Jones, number 17, the captain. Standing back there, the junior quarterback. 4 guys wide left, 1 guy wide right on an empty backfield. Jones back to throw. He's going to pump fake the screen. Now he's going to throw underneath, and it's going to be caught around the 15 as that one's going to be caught by Daniel Helm, the senior tight end. So 547 yards of total offense a week ago, 186 rushing yards. Here's a quick screen out to the right side to Roming, and Roming's going to bull forward out to the 17. And it'll be a 3rd and 2 coming up here for Duke, trying to have success on their first drive, as we've seen a quarterback such as Kellen Mond go crazy on this Clemson defense and nearly come up with a big upset early in the season. People are curious if they can see the same thing out of Daniel Jones. He might be the next best thing they've seen at quarterback, definitely different than Ryan Finley, more of a dual threat kind of guy. But still a lot of a pocket passer, but gets the ball off clean. Roll out to the left, and there goes Daniel Jones. He's going to dive forward, and he got the first down out to the 20. And a nice run on the rollout to the left side for Daniel Jones of Duke. And it's a first down, trying to drive the ball down the field. Each team having 1 first down. Head coach David Cutcliffe looking on. A lot of empty backfield sets. 1 guy wide left, 4 guys wide right. Man in motion for Duke is going to be Deion Jackson, the sophomore running back, number 25. Now they got 2 guys wide left, 3 guys wide right. Having to call the signals at the line of scrimmage, 8 seconds to get the snap off here in this empty backfield. 4-3 front look for Clemson. Back to throw. Jones looking to Jackson. It's batted at the line. Incomplete. Batted here by Christian Wilkins, and Wilkins tried to come down with the I think it might have been Dexter Lawrence. I couldn't tell who got a hand on it, but it definitely was Wilkins who almost came down with it, falling on Daniel Jones. Indeed, it was Dexter Lawrence who got a hand on it. And a 2nd and 10 coming up here for Daniel Jones. Bunches to the right side, and running back Deion Jackson to the left side on the left hash mark. Hikes the ball. Here's the handoff. Deion Jackson trying to get some space, and he's only going to get a couple yards here out to the 23. It'll be a 3rd and 8 coming up here for the Duke Blue Devil offense. Duke coming into this game 7-3. Big win early in the season against number 24 Northwestern at the time. They are, of course, higher ranked actually right now at number 22. 3rd and 8 coming up. 11:20 to play here in the first. Play action, back to throw. Jones with time in the pocket. Throws right side, and it's going to be a bobbled catch, and it's going to be marked about a yard gain, maybe even less. And it'll be a 4th down as Jonathan Lloyd comes down with it. Terrell on the tackle on the right side of Daniel Jones. So here comes Amari Rogers. Took one to the house a week ago against Boston College after Boston College opened up and took the lead with a punt return. Parker to kick this ball away. Austin Parker gets it off cleanly, and the punt is drilled at the 35, and a fair catch called right there for Amari Rogers. And we'll be right back. 10:35 in counting to play here in this first quarter. Clemson and Duke are scoreless after 1 possession for each team. Welcome back. Here's a handoff to the left side. Travis Etienne, who's going to get wrapped up and taken down after a gain of 2. So um, what just happened in Tallahassee was Florida State, a team that Clemson was expected to beat, and now honestly blew out, beat Boston College, which was a marquee win for Clemson and already a weak resume. So here's the throw underneath to Rodgers, and it's going to be caught for a gain of 6, and it'll be a 3rd and 2. As if Clemson were to drop one of these next 3 games, as they have Pitt now, Pitt is confirmed to be in South Carolina next week, and of course Duke here tonight. They were to drop one of these 3 games, they got very little margin for error because right now they don't currently have a big top 25 win because I'm assuming Boston College will drop out. 2 guys wide right, 2 guys wide left, man. The motion is going to be Travis Etienne with the tie to the left side. Ikes the ball, back to throw, rolling out to the left. Quick throw, it's going to be high, overthrowing Hunter Renfro, and it's going to be a 3 and out for Clemson. Getting 8 yards, but not a first down on that drive. And a big stop for Duke defensively on the second, for the second time today. They've been able to... for the second time today, as I'm trying to keep track of this Oklahoma State West Virginia game. But looking to pressure this one, they'll back off the pressure as Duke's punt coverage. Aspires drills this one deep. Rahming is going to take it from the 4. Rahming trying to get a lane, and Rahming's going to dive forward out to the 15-yard line. And there is a flag down. And by the way, touchdown Oklahoma State with 42 seconds left. They take the lead over number 9, West Virginia. Of course, if West Virginia drops this game and Iowa State wins the next game, they are 1 win away. Iowa State is going to the Big 12 championship no matter what. It would be a 3-way tie, of course, if West Virginia pulls it off against Oklahoma next week. If West Virginia would lose here in Stillwater. You think that one would need limited promotion? Yeah, that is the highlight of the NFL regular season to this point. That's the only NFL game I actually put down on my schedule on my phone. Ball on the 8-yard line. Here's a first down and 10. Duke 0, Clemson 0 with 9:21 to go in the first quarter for Daniel Jones standing on the shadow of his own goalpost. Following the penalty. A lot of hype here in from the end of the kick. The holding was here in return, but during the kick, it's half the distance to the goal line. So it's a holding half the distance to the goal line, first down. Duke, it wouldn't go in favor of Clemson. So now spotting it at the 2-yard line. I don't know why. But it's half the distance to the goal line. He got all the way out to the 15. Shadow of their own goalpost. Back to throw. Jones looking deep, taking a shot to the right side, and this one's short, but it's incomplete, intended there for Jonathan Lloyd. There'll be a 2nd and 10 coming up here on the shadow of their own goalpost. Terrell in coverage. Second down, Ikes the ball. Here's the handoff to Britton. Breno fakes the handoff and dumps it off underneath to the tight end. And it's going to be caught and taken out to the 9.5-yard line by Copenhaver. Excuse me. You see early on what David Cutcliffe, his approach, no matter where you are on the field, backed up inside your 5. The best thing that Duke does is throw the football. So 3rd and 2 coming up here. 4 guys wide left, 1 guy wide right for Daniel Jones and Duke. I wouldn't be surprised if they run some sort of variation of a draw QB run here, trying to pick up 2 yards deep in their own territory. Jones, drop back. He's going to get it quick out to the left side to Britton Brown. And it's Deion Jackson. And Jackson is going to get that first down out to the 15-yard line on the screen. And Duke here seeming calm and collected early, moving that football against this defensive front, this crowd, and these lights. The first time Death Valley has hosted a night game in Clemson. Hikes the ball. Here's Deion Jackson, who's going to get a yard. 2 yards is where it's going to be marked forward progress. Taken down. Stopped the forward progress was Dexter Lawrence and Cleveland Farrell. 8 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Jack Wallaby. That's where I know that name. He's an Ohio State transfer at center. Jack Wallaby. Wallaball and Dexter Lawrence. I've never really known how they pronounce his name, though. Back to throw. Pump fake. Now Jones taking a shot deep to the right side. Got him in at the 45. 50 cutting to the left side. And down at the 46. In a big game here for Daniel Helm, the tight end. His second reception of the night. And it will be a first down. Duke into Clemson territory. First and 10 here for Duke. 7:15 to play here. Hikes the ball. Play action back to throw. Daniel Jones rolling out to the right. Taking the shot deep again. Got it! Oh, almost caught broken up by Kayvon Wallace. Intended here for Jared Garner, the freshman wide receiver that was totally off the radar for me watching this Duke team lately. Second and 10 coming up here. Daniel Jones handing it off. Handing off. Deion Jackson breaks a tackle. Jackson trying to get more yards out to the 35 of Clemson. And the Blue Devils moving the football right now. It'll be a first and 10. 6:55 left to go here in the first quarter. Hikes the ball. Here's a handoff again to Deion Jackson up the middle and gets a yard out to the 33. They mark it at the 34. Second and 9. And apparently Cleveland Farrell is his name, not Farrell or Farrell. It's Farrell. Second and 9 coming up here for Daniel Jones. Back to throw, looking underneath. Now he's going to take a shot to the right side. It's caught. Deion Jackson out of the backfield. Jackson's going to get out to the 24-yard line. And West Virginia has the ball at the 14 of Okie State with 2 seconds left. So I'm going to go ahead and watch this play. There's another timeout. I'm keeping an eye on that, though, on my cellular device right now, my phone. Right now, 2 guys wide right, 3 guys wide left with 1 man split close to the line of scrimmage. Close to the left tackle. Man in motion is Jackson. Back to throw, and flags fly and whistles blown. And a false start on Robert Kraling, the redshirt sophomore at the right tackle position. No touchdowns allowed in the first quarter. That's the only FBS team to do so. And here's Daniel Jones driving with the middle of the field with a gaping gap right now. Let's see if Daniel Jones can recognize it. Back to throw. Jones is going to just hit it on the out route up the sideline and outside bounds at the 20. So here's Gary Jennings in motion. Back to throw is going to be Will Greer pressured. Greer scrambles out to the right, lofts it to the end zone. It's batted away. Batted away. Oklahoma State beats West Virginia. A top 10 team has fallen. Now back to this game. Daniel Jones under pressure. Heaves it deep. Incomplete. Trying to get it here to Rowling, excuse me. So here's a 3rd and 7 coming up here for Duke. 2 guys wide right, 3 guys wide left. Back to throw. Jones steps up. Jones pressured. He's going to scramble out to the right side. Jones is going to keep it, making a move, and he's taken down at the 16 of Clemson. They need to get to the 13, and this is probably field goal positioning here for Duke. So here comes Colin Wareham. Wareham 4 for 4 from 30 to 39 yards. Let's see if the big lights is too much for this. With the 33-yard attempt here for Duke trying to take the lead. Snap good, kick on the way, and Wareham drills it, and Duke with the lead over Clemson. And we will be right back, 3-0. And again, breaking news out of Stillwater. Oklahoma State holds on against West Virginia, knocking off any hope West Virginia has of the playoff. A big shakeup in the top 10 with that one. And any shot West Virginia had, I had West Virginia actually way above Oklahoma, Washington State, and Ohio State as head over heels, undeniably better, but they go down today and they will drop below those teams. Still going to be a high-ranked team in my opinion, but they're going to drop below those teams. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We'll be right back. Duke, it's a field goal, 3-0 Blue Devils. And welcome back. Other score to keep an eye on here. Michigan's driving on Indiana up 28-20 in a struggling effort right before Ohio State. Ohio State also had a struggling effort. In fact, struggling is a mild downplay of the term. Ohio State holds on and comes back to come up with an improbable victory, actually, against Maryland, 52-51. How bad the first half went, and really how bad the fourth quarter went defensively only in the fourth quarter, because the offense looked great in the fourth quarter, but how bad in the first half Ohio State played, they can take a win against Maryland, man, because they played terrible in every facet of the game, except for the third quarter. They looked good minus the pick six in the third quarter. So here's the kickoff taken out of the end zone. Nowhere to go. Now he's going to try to get the edge, breaking a tackle and getting out of bounds at the 24 with a flag. Is a returner for Clemson, which is Darian Kendrick. Darian Kendrick. Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking. And this one's going to be holding on TJ Chase. West Virginia, Oklahoma State. Taylor Cornelius to Tylan Wallace. Sticking in the end zone, the Biletnikoff Award finalist. And Greer back to throw, lobbing it to the end zone. And it's batted away, intended for Sills. And that'll do it for Oklahoma State. 45-41 upset victory, as I've recently stated here. As Gundy getting them bowl eligible 6-5. They should have probably beat Oklahoma last week quality win for Oklahoma State as they have beaten Texas, they've beaten West Virginia, and took Oklahoma to the wire. So definitely one of the more quality 6-5 teams, along with a team like Maryland and Purdue lost in 3 overtimes, so they're 5-6. First and 10 coming up here. 2 guys wide on each side of the field for Trevor Lawrence. Hands it off to Travis Etienne, trying to get the edge and knocked out of bounds in the backfield at the 8. At best, it's 2nd and 13. A good hit out of bounds for Leonard Johnson. And this is kind of a sleepy day for all these top teams, and that's why we're seeing so many close games. Even the Citadel was tied up with Alabama, 10 apiece in the first half today. 2 guys wide on each side, with the man to the right side of Trevor Lawrence being Travis Etienne as a running back at the 7-yard line. 2nd and 14 for Clemson, backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost. Lawrence takes a snap, back to throw, throws quickly underneath. It's going to be caught and stood up at the 14, where Swarm helped and gather up the wide receiver Milan Richard. But the initial hit delivered by Brandon Hill, the linebacker. And here's a 3rd and 6. Made it manageable with the completion to Milan Richard here. Let's see if we can see more of this poised freshman, Trevor Lawrence. 2 guys wide on each side. 0 for 2 on 3rd downs today. Hikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence goes over the middle and it's batted away right through the arms of Armani. Not Armani, that's the quarterback for UNLV. Amari Rogers smacked right out of sand. What a defensive play by Ben Humphreys. A wide open Amari Rogers who just couldn't hang on to it because it swatted away by Humphreys. And it'll be a 4th and 6 on another 3 and out for Clemson. Spires is going to have to kick this ball away, standing at his own goal line. Spires gets a snap off clean, and he's going to get the punt off clean, where Rahming is going to call a fair catch at the 50, and they're going to mark it at the 49-yard line. And Duke's first down. Ben Humphreys making the big play. The senior starter, the only one on this defense, the captain, making a big play. We'll be right back. Duke up on Clemson early, 3-0 with great field positioning. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Clemson, South Carolina. Scores 3-0 at Duke here in this night game in Memorial Stadium. And Duke also having very favorable field positioning at the 49 of Duke, but trying to get into Clemson territory. They can easily do that in just one play. First and 10 coming up here. Hikes the ball. Here's the handoff, and it's going to be Deion Jackson with the leg. Jackson out to the 40, breaking a tackle out to the 30, where he's taken down at the 29-yard line. A first down, Deion Jackson. 2:32 to play here in the first quarter, and Duke yet again in field goal range. They need to try to finish a drive here. Two guys wide left, one guy wide right, tight into the right side. Fakes the pop pass, back to throw, pressure by Cleveland Farrell. Throws incomplete, trying to get it over the middle, and Cleveland Farrell is the one who breaks it up. 2nd and 10 coming up here for Clemson. And just throwing on the opposite side of his foot. I don't know if that's really a smart play to go on your back foot like that. If you're Daniel Jones, just get rid of the ball. Here's a pop pass to the left side and broken in the backfield for a loss. Jonathan Lloyd on the carry, but it's Wilkins and Farrell on the tackle here. And we're calling Wilkins and Farrell's name a little more often than Lawrence and Bryant on that offensive line. Or defensive line, excuse me. 3rd and 13 at the Clemson 32. Jones back to throw. Lofting it, incomplete, over the top. And there is a flag. I was wondering if they would throw a flag over the top trying to hit Chris Taylor. And I believe that was A.J. Terrell who was in coverage there on the receiver there. Chris Taylor pleading his case. And indeed, it is going to be on A.J. Taylor, pass interference. And I agree with that call. It's catchable for sure if it's not impeded by A.J. Terrell. And it's going to be a first down here for Duke. Now moving the ball in the red zone at the 18-yard line. Jones sends a man in motion. He's going to fake the pass to that man in motion, and he's going to run it up the middle to the 12-yard line where he bulls down. It'll be a 2nd and 4 coming up here for Duke. And backing Clemson up on the shadow of their goalpost defensively, which earlier they were on the shadow of their own goalpost offensively is what I was saying earlier. So field positioning battle won by Duke so far. Let's see if they can continue to win it. Jones with 2 running backs in the backfield to each side of him. Hikes the ball. Back to throw now. He's going to pull it. And Jones is taken down for a loss of 2. Down at the 9. It'll be a 3rd down and about 6 coming up here for Duke. 50 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. The score is 3-0 Duke. Duke driving into Clemson territory. Daniel Jones in the shotgun formation, empty backfield, roaming to the left side man to watch for. Also on that left side with him is Deion Jackson for a double speedy threat on that side. No safety in the middle of the field as well. Back to throw. He's going to throw quickly. Incomplete, intended for Roming, who was in the slot having to rush the throw. And it's going to be a 4th and 6. And here comes the field goal unit again. And a couple of wins for this defense getting Duke off the field as Colin Wareham is going to come onto the field again. Colin Wareham, 34-yard field goal was already made. This one's going to be a 32-yard attempt. And here's a snap. Kicks on the way. And again right down the middle. And Duke with a 6-0 lead over Clemson. I think this is a good thing that Duke's able to get on the board early here with 2 possessions. But I think it's a bad thing that you couldn't turn at least one of them into touchdowns, because now, even though Clemson has been outplayed throughout the first quarter, only getting 1 first down, and while Duke's been moving the ball into Clemson's territory on a consistent basis, Duke not scoring a touchdown that makes Clemson be able to take the lead with just 1 good drive on their own, and all of a sudden we're going to have a lot of issues As before Cutcliffe, though, 16 and 117 record in 10 years before Cutcliffe. But since Cutcliffe came here, he got them to bowl games after bowl games, played a very good game and a classic game against. I believe it was a really good game, at least. Maybe I'm thinking of another game that Texas A&M participated in. But against Johnny Manziel and Texas A&M in Johnny Manziel's last game, I think it was. And Duke's also played in a very good game against Indiana a couple of years ago, in which I believe they did end up winning and pulling out. So a very good Duke team, a modest program, and definitely an average program for sure throughout the time. But 7-3 right now, bowl eligible for sure. As here is the kick taken from the 4-yard line. Here is going to be Darian as he tries to hurdle a man, and he's just not going to get over the top. And it's Darren Kendrick who's taken down. 16 seconds to play here in the first quarter for the Clemson offense. 41 rush yards per. Sorry, Clemson's offense in the first quarter, 41 yards per. Sorry, rushing at 41 yards per first quarter. Only, actually, absolutely none here today. 16 seconds here to play in the first quarter. As Lawrence is going to hand it off to Feaster, and Feaster is going to get a gain of about 4 yards. Tavian Feaster's first carry of the ball game, and that'll do it for quarter number 1. And Clemson's in a struggle here, just like many top 10 teams, as the one team we did think was going to get a severe test in Notre Dame pulled away. Everyone else, Ohio State, West Virginia, Michigan, and now Clemson struggling to pull away. We'll be right back. And even Alabama. We'll be right back. Welcome back here. Struggle running the football for Tavian Feaster, who got the last carry. Of course, Travis Etienne, the hopeful for the Walker. So here we go. 2nd and 5. Last time Clemson trailed at the end of the first quarter was against Alabama a year ago. Now they trail against Duke, of all people. Hand off to Feaster, and Feaster's going to rush forward and get that first down, as he moves those chains. So 1st and 10 coming up here for Clemson Tigers offense. Two guys wide on each side. Feaster motions to the right side of Trevor Lawrence, who stands in the backfield in the shotgun formation. Hikes the ball back to throw. Quick throw out to the left side, caught by T. Higgins, who's trying to get a first down himself. He's going to be marked out of bounds around the 46. I think they will go ahead and move the chains. So that's the second first down of the ball game. Second first down of this drive. Before this drive, the entire first quarter, they only had one first down. So that's a big momentum booster for Clemson, trying to get into a rhythm here. 1st and 10, man in motion is going to be the tight end to the left side into the backfield now. Two guys wide left, one guy wide right. Hikes the ball. Here's a handoff. Feaster taken down in the backfield for a loss out to the 45, and a good tackle by the cornerback trying to get off the edge, who's listed actually as a safety, Looney Young, in this 4-2-5 defense, who came off the edge, was designed blitz, and just dragged Feaster to the ground. And Feaster's honestly lucky he could possibly get back to the 45-yard line, or up to the 45-yard line here. 2nd and 11 coming up here following the young tackle in the backfield. Hikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence quickly to the left side. It's going to be caught in nearing the first down marker, and they're going to give him another first down at the 43. It's going to be T. Higgins again. But came down awkward as T. Higgins will step off the field here. And it'll be a 1st and 10, though, for Clemson, even though T. Higgins is going to be out, as he is taken down pretty brutally by Brandon Feaster. 1st and 10. Hikes the ball. Play action back to throw. Lawrence taking the shot to the right side. Got a man wide open. It's going to be caught. Stumbling and down at the 3. And it's going to be a first down to Justin Ross. They're going to mark this one at the 2. And it's going to be a 1st and goal. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered. A small dose of Justin Ross. 1st and goal coming up here for Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson Tigers. Two guys wide left, tight ends to the right side. On the right hash mark, Feaster's the back. Hikes the ball. Here's the handoff. Feaster cutting up field, and he's in. Touchdown, Clemson. And a tied ball game pending the Greg Hugel PAT. And a big drive for the confidence for this Clemson offense, in which was struggling early in this game and had been outgained by Duke, but now they've narrowed that margin where they were outgained by 90 yards. They've definitely narrowed that margin for sure, with a couple of big plays to T. Higgins and one to Justin Ross. And now Hugel to kick this ball in through the uprights, and Clemson has the lead 7-6. We'll be back with more college football action here on Bash CFB Network. Welcome back out here in Clemson, South Carolina, as the kick sent deep and through the end zone for a touchback for the Clemson Tigers unit, and wins versus AP top 5 teams 1938. Number 3 Duke 7, number 4 Pitt nothing, and then 1944. How about this one? Georgia Tech number 5 in the country 13, Duke 19. And then back to 1960, Navy number 4 in the country 10, number 13 Duke 19. Those are AP top 5 wins in Duke history. Last one in 1960. Here's a play action, back to throw, throws left side. It's going to be caught. Raming, and Raming is going to get out to about the 31, and it's going to be a 2nd and 4. A very manageable 2nd down here for Daniel Jones in this offense. Lost 18 straight games versus AP top 5 ranked opponents. Hikes the ball back to throw. Throws deep, and it's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage. Sorry. And it's going to be incomplete. As Shaq Smith was the guy trying to get under it, but there is a flag down. I think it's going to be hands to the face on the offense.
Almost forced an interception from Shaq Smith. There's no foul for ineligible downfield. The ball was tipped. Check it out.
And the ball, since the ball was tipped, there's no penalty for an eligible man downfield. So here's a 3rd and 3 coming up here for Daniel Jones. Duke is 2 for 5 on 3rd down tonight. Hikes the ball. He's going to roll out to the right. Tries to buy time. Throws on the money. Raming stays in bounds, and he's out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And it'll be a 1st and 10 coming up here for the Duke Blue Devil offense. Trying to move the ball again into Clemson territory. That's a big throw on the run by Daniel Jones. It shows his potential, squares those shoulders towards the receiver and hits him. And a great job there by Daniel Jones on the run. So 1st and 10 here, 12 minutes left to play here in the 2nd quarter. The score is going to be 10. Or sorry, the score is going to be 7-6 here for the 10-0 Clemson Tigers taking on the 7-3 Duke Blue Devils. I'm not quite sure what's going on with about 12 minutes. Okay, they had to fix the chains, and now the change gang is set. Ball at the 40. They need to get to the 50-yard line for a 1st down. 11:55 left to play here in the 2nd quarter. Hikes the ball. Here's the fake handoff. Back to throw. Throws quick. Raming, and the ball is incomplete right off the hands of Raming. And good coverage here by Kyvan Wallace. I said Kyvan. It's Kayvon Wallace. 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Clemson Tigers. Man in motion, 2 guys wide right, 1 guy wide left, tied into the left side. Back to throw off the play action, stepping up, pressured, and Daniel Jones will be dropped in the backfield for a short loss by Christian Wilkins. A loss of about 1 yard. And that was just a play action, but great coverage downfield. The 4-man front is able to go ahead and make some big plays. Third and 10. Hikes the ball back to throw. I think Clemson was offside, breaking a tackle, trying to break containment, and Jones goes down at the 33. I am very surprised he didn't throw a flag because it looked like Clemson jumped off sides. But it'll be a 4th down at the 33, and it's 4th and 17, following this sack by Cleland Furl. Excuse me. So here's a 4th and 16, trying to pin him deep. Parker sends it deep. Amari Rogers having to backpedal. Takes it all, he muffs it, and now it's going to be caught at the 9, taken to the left side at the 20. Rogers makes a move out of bounds at the 26 in the near disaster for Clemson's punt return unit, in which Amari Rogers has had problems with the muff punts all year long. But we'll be right back as Clemson's up by 1. Trying to move that ball down the field and go up by some more. Welcome back on FS1. Oklahoma's on the ropes early on against Kansas. 7-0 late in the first quarter. Oklahoma is moving the football.
So we're going all in. I need these players to be all in. And see what happens.
7-6 is a score here for Clemson, who's had a tremendous journey since Dallas Sweeney took over as a head coach for Clemson back in 2009. Hikes the ball. Here's his play action. Throws over the middle. It's going to be incomplete over the head of Justin Ross. There'll be a 2nd and 10 coming up here. But celebration is going to be the big story. Fun stories. Or fun celebrations, but Leland Furl's ankle is hurt. They're going to open up the tent. He's smiling as he goes in there. 3 guys wide right, tied into the left side. Ikes the ball, back to throw. Now he's going to hand it off to Etienne on a draw where the exchange was a little bit awkward, but Etienne's able to get back to the line of scrimmage. There will be a 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Clemson offense, trying to move the ball down the field to get a big score. As I believe if I can set this up, coming up next will be Washington State against Arizona. If I have time to set it up and I'm not exhausted. 9:45 left to go here in the second quarter. 0 for 3 on 3rd downs today. Trevor Lawrence, not Dexter Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence back to throw. On the run, throws on the right. Complete, intended there for Hunter Renfrow. And he's slow to get up. Renfro's not going to get up here. He's holding his right knee as a coach for Duke tried to help him up, and he decided not to. And the coaching staff for Duke swarmed over him trying to get assistance to him. I can't tell if David Cutcliffe's in the middle of that, as the teammates as well, Kendrick, Ross, and Higgins are there, who look up to Hunter Renfrow as fellow receivers and would hate to see him go down on senior night here in Clemson. Sorry, this is not senior night, I don't think. Because I'm pretty sure they do have a matchup. And by the way, that's not, in case you guys heard that, that's the TV. We'll go to break as they attend to Hunter Renfro. Welcome back, senior night in Clemson, South Carolina. Even though this is not their last home game, they do have South Carolina next week. But Hunter Renfro's down still as we come back. By the way, Kyler Murray getting a touchdown run against Kansas, 7-0 out there in Norman with about, as you see, he comes down awkwardly on his knee, it looks like, and he drops the ball trying to come down with it. And nuts. And we'll be right back yet again. Not something I would wish on my worst enemy right now. And I'm not quite sure what's hurt Hunter Renfro's walking off the field, not gingerly at all. So it might be something else. As that's, of course, a leader on this Clemson team. But here comes Spires to punt the ball away. How was the punt not blocked? Counting after it was the entire Duke team. No one got a hand on it. And they hit the punter. I can't tell if someone was blocked into him, but there's no flag here. Whoa, how was that not blocked, though? I think it's because he fell into him. I think Spires just jumped in to him, and that's why. But almost blocking that, oh my goodness, was Josh Blackwell. 1st and 10 coming up here. 3 guys wide left, 2 guys wide right. Empty backfield here for Daniel Jones at the 38-yard line. Nice ball back to throw. Jones quickly caught here by the tight end. And this one's going to be a decent reception here. This is a different tight end, Noah Gray, who gets his first catch of the ball game here tonight. 2nd and 5 coming up here with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left to play and counting here for Daniel Jones' offense. For Duke hikes the ball back to throw. Jones quick over the left side, incomplete. Intended here this time for Jonathan Lloyd. And here's a big 3rd and 5 coming up here for Duke. They had big field position advantage here. 38's a decent field positioning, but they could possibly pin Clemson deep if they get stopped. They could also drive the ball down the field. Man in the slot being pressed up on. Also a guy to watch for. And a little bit of a jump here by Clemson. And the flag is down, but the pass is dropped on the screen to Jackson. Deion Jackson was the intended receiver there, but let's see what the flag is and who is on. And I believe this is going to be offsides on Clemson. Offsides here on Cleveland. Furl off the edge, a little too eager, trying to get off the edge. And that's what can happen if you're a very reactionary player, and a player who likes to, use that sense of the game to your advantage. Then that's how you can tell. But that sometimes can come back to bite you, and that's how you can tell that a player is just a little bit eager, as if they go a little quick. Hikes the ball, 3-man rush, back to throw. He's going to throw quick to the left side, and it's going to be caught and taken down at the 45 here. Is going to be the first catch for Johnson Damon Filial. 2nd and 3 coming up here. They need to get to the 42-yard line for a first down. Ball at the 45. Cleveland Furl is going to be playing outside as kind of a linebacker now with a 3-man defensive front. Hikes the ball back to throw. Time for Jones. Underneath, it's going to be caught. Half a yard short of the sticks, though, goes T.J. Ramey. And he's going to be getting his 5th reception, but he could have possibly got that first down if he would have just taken his yards, not trying to get more than what they needed. And here comes the backup quarterback, Quentin Harris, to sneak this ball ahead on this defensive front. Can he get there? He got there. And it's going to be a first down at the 42-yard line, of Clemson, following the run here by Quentin Harris. And now coming back into the game is going to be Daniel Jones for Duke. The score is going to be Score is currently 6-7 with 7:55 left to go in the second quarter. About to get started with the clock once the chains game is set. We're going to go ahead and back up Wollaball. The center has been a key guy trying to contain in the middle. He hasn't been stuck with Dexter Lawrence, and they're measuring. That's why the clock stopped, and it's a clear first down for the Duke Blue Devils. So they'll go ahead and move those chains. 10 first downs for Duke to Clemson's 5, and this is what Duke wants. This is how the game needs to be played for Duke. Monopolize time of possession, get a lot of short throws for Daniel Jones, get the ball out of his hand. And if Daniel Jones is playing this tough throughout the game, they're going to have a nice chance late. Here's the throw backside. It's going to be Ramey who's taken down at the 47 for a 5-yard loss. Trayvon Mullen is the one who makes the big tackle. It'll be 2nd and 15 coming up here for Clemson. And I think this was just bad play calling here. Not bad play calling, but bad execution. Try to get it closer to the line of scrimmage. 3 yards deep in the line of scrimmage, and then Romney dancing around. Pressure coming. Jones lofting it up there. Incomplete. Intended here this time for Jonathan Lloyd, but good coverage here by Isaiah Simmons. And just Kendall Joseph smacking Daniel Jones as Jones having to lob it. He's going to bring the pressure again. So if I'm Duke, I try to get a quick screen out to the edges, out to the boundaries, and try to make something big happen on the edge. 3rd and 15. Hikes the ball back to throw. Jones pressured. He breaks a tackle. There goes Daniel Jones up the right side, and he's going to get taken down at the 36. And now we got interesting field positioning here. I don't think it's quite field goal range here for Colin O'Waring, but how did Daniel Jones break out of that tackle is going to be the question. And they're going to go ahead and go for it, I think. This is a game. You got nothing to gain, nothing to lose here. You could possibly be looking at an 8-4 record versus a 9-3 record, top 25, but that stuff does not matter to David Cutcliffe. What matters is this game. 9 of 24 on 4th downs this season. That's 115th this season. Jones takes a snap, and he's going to fake the pooch kick, and he's going to throw underneath. It's caught, and a first down. What a run after the catch, and it's a first down catch for Jonathan Lloyd. There is a flag. Might be ineligible field or ineligible player downfield. And this one is going to be on Duke.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. I really like that. Offensive pass interference. Number 5.
Offensive pass interference called on Jonathan Lloyd. And it will be a 4th and very long. I can't remember what it was. I don't know about this. Did he push off? Got to see that a little better here on the edge. Yeah, I don't know. There's hand fighting on both sides, but the call's whatever. I can't be mad about it. Ball at the 49 now of Duke, so they're going to have to punt this one. Austin Parker, 0 inside the 20 today. 54 was his log. Gets the punt off cleanly. And it's going, right into the end zone. Trying to stop it there. Blocked into the end zone was Jared Gardner. So we'll be right back with some more college football action here. 7-6, Clemson with the ball, dodging a bullet. First down throw out to the left side. Amari Rogers, the intended target. And it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. They just came back to break, or from break, on ESPN. 2nd and 10 coming up here for Duke's defense. Trying to get off the field yet again. Only 13 rush yards for Clemson. Trying to break that open is going to be the Tigers. 2 guys wide on each side of Lawrence at the right hash mark of the 20. Hikes the ball back to throw. Throws right side. And it's out of bounds. Hitting him out of bounds. T. Higgins went up for it, but hitting him out of bounds was the safety that we've already called today, Louis Young. And it will be a 3rd and 10 coming up here. Punt, touchdown, punt. That has been the day for Clemson, the first 4 drives for Clemson. This is the 5th drive for them. 0 for 4 on 3rd downs here today. 0 for 4 on 3rd downs for Trevor Lawrence today. And movement, I believe, is going to be on Hyatt. Sorry, the first person to move was Travis Etienne. I thought I saw Hyatt move, but Etienne was the guy who moved, and this will be a 3rd and 15. Now, if I'm Clemson, I'm trying to get this ball out of the shadow of my own goalpost. I'm going to, and really outside of that red area in which Duke can capitalize on field position battle if they can get a punt inside their own 20. So if I'm Clemson, I just run it. But no, Lawrence back to throw. He's going to throw to the sticks, incomplete. Outside, a little too far on the boundaries, intended for Amari Rogers. And not a great day, especially on 3rd down for Trevor Lawrence thus far today. And a pumped-up coaching staff in the Duke booth here today. And it'll be a 4th and 15 here with 6:02 to play in the 2nd quarter. Duke making this one a very interesting with a college football playoff hopeful Clemson Tigers who, and this is what I said earlier, I think Clemson should win all games that they have left on their schedule, and I think they will win all the games they have left on their schedule. But, however, Duke is not a sleeper or is not a team to sleep on. Neither is South Carolina or Pitt. As here's the punt. It is a poor punt. And it takes a Clemson roll out to the 40-yard line where it's touched down. But a 5th punt in 6 possessions for Spires. And 4th 3-and-outs. We'll be right back. Clemson having offensive woes. And welcome back here as Texas Iowa State early. Sam Ellinger going to run a draw play, makes a man miss, and gets into the end zone. 7-3. Iowa State just hitting a field goal to make it a 4-point game early in that ball game. There's about 4 minutes left in the first quarter. In fact, just under 5 minutes at 4:47 in the first quarter. 32 of the last 34 games versus ACC opponents have been won. The only 2 losses at home against Pittsburgh and on the road last year against Syracuse. A man to the left side, 2 guys wide right. Tight end to the right side as well. Fakes the handoff back to throw. Takes a shot to the left side and tries to get the back shoulder. And Mullen making a play on the football. Nowhere to go, really. Tammy Muse was also there. But the back shoulder just was not executed correctly on the receiving end of it. Second and 10 coming up here. 2 guys wide right, 1 guy wide left. Play action, back to throw. Jones holding on to the ball for a while and slings it left side. And I think it's incomplete, but there is a flag that comes out late. This one's intended for Jonathan Lloyd. And not happy is going to be Dabo Sweeney, who's on the field and getting near the numbers, of course, on the field. And this is going to be targeting here called on Isaiah Simmons. The play is under review. Oh my gosh, I didn't really see it as that egregious. Let me see if by rule it is, because I didn't quite see that. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. I don't like this targeting call. So what happens here? Let me describe it as best as I can. Lloyd comes down with it and trying to get it. Yeah, Simmons didn't really even hit him. He smacked the ball away. It didn't look like the crown of his helmet even hit him. This is a defenseless receiver, so anything to the head or neck area with a delivering blow is going to be targeting because it's not because leading with the crown of the helmet is targeting even if it's not a defenseless player. Let's see this one in a better angle. And he smacks him on the head, but that's all that happens here for Simmons. Smacks him on the head with his hand. I don't know if that would technically be considered targeting. It might, because he did hit him in the head, but it wasn't with any padding. It wasn't with any forcible contact. He just tried to get the ball and smacked him in the helmet. Probably hurt Simmons' hand more than the let's see what it is. No foul for targeting. The play is reversed. It'll be a 3rd down and 10 coming up here for Duke because the pass was incomplete and intended for Jonathan Lloyd. And it will be a 3rd and 10. Simmons stays on the field and in the game here for the Clemson Tigers. A big 3rd and 10 and a lot of momentum in Clemson's favor now after that play for the targeting. 2 guys wide left, 3 guys wide right, backed off coverage on the edge. 3-man rush, back to throw. Oh, plenty of time. It's batted down by Austin Bryant. And it'll be a 4th and 10. Another batted pass for the Clemson Tiger defensive front. Wilkins, is the one who batted that away. That was a potential completion. I saw the man wide open. I couldn't quite see who it was. I saw the man wide open. So here's the ball at the 40. Trying to pin him deep is Austin Parker. And Parker sends this one deep. It's caught here by Amari Rogers, who's taken down right away at the 20. So now Clemson starting yet again at the 20. Not inside the 20, but at the 20-yard line. And it's still 7-6 in the All-State Good Hands Field Goal Net program. Since 2005, All-State has donated millions in scholarship funds to participating schools in which have the All-State Field Goal Nets. Use All-State as the sponsor there. And Clemson is one of those schools. Now they're going to look at targeting here on the return.
Returner by definition is a defenseless receiver.
I don't know about that. There was head-to-head contact, but it wasn't with the crown of the helmet, and it was on the tackle. Oh my gosh. This might be by rule targeting, but I do not like this if it is because he's playing football. He's playing football. He's going for the tackle. Rogers gets low with him, and he got smacked here, but he had the ball, and he wasn't defenseless at the time. We'll take a break and see what the call is when we come back. After review, the kicking team's number 32 targeting, and man, I absolutely hate this call. Regardless of whether or not it was by rule, if that's a rule, that needs to be changed because he was making a play on the football. Rodgers had cut forward, and this was a tackle. It's just ridiculous, in my opinion, that that is a rule. If it is stated a rule, I'm going to trust the officials that it is part of the rules. So here's the handoff up the middle to Adam Choice, and he's going to get a gain of 1, as this one is Brandon Hill, the linebacker, who's taken out. And they're already weak at the linebacker position with Giles Harris, who's out for today. We haven't seen him today. And Giles Harris is the best player on Duke's defense, yet they are having this much success. I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Giles Harris comes in the second half in an emergency situation. Ikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence pressured, having it back up. Throws deep, incomplete, out of bounds. A flag is down. I believe this is going to be on the offense for holding.
Offense number 59. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
And indeed it is holding on the offense. This one is going to be called by Gage Cervenka. And it will be a 3rd and 10 as the penalty is declined. Sorry, 3rd and 9 as the penalty is declined. Kobe Kwanzaa is in the game at linebacker now, number 49. A little bit of a smaller set linebacker here for Duke. Kwanzaa is only 6'1", 230 pounds from Manchester, Connecticut. 3rd and 9, 0 for 5 on 3rd downs today is Clemson. A lot of misfires. As here's the pressure coming from that left side of Lawrence. Takes a shot deep. Got it, man, right through the hands of Kendrick. And Darian Kendrick was gone. But incomplete up the left side. Could not get it. That is 6 for sure if Kendrick can hang on. But he cannot. Not great coverage here on the outside by Brandon Feemster. But he caught a break with that one. Kendrick just burnt him completely, but it's going to be a 4th and 9. That one was the best throw, arguably, that Lawrence has made thus far today, and this one was dropped. Spires to punt the ball away, and his fair catch is going to be called by Ramming at the 22-yard line. So field positioning kind of being played in both ways. Mackenzie Milton here. Hikes the ball back to throw. Milton from the end zone is going to be sacked. And the fumble, Cincinnati recovers. It's going to be a touchdown UC. They missed the PAT, but right now they are driving in UCF territory. It is Cincinnati trying to make a big upset happen in Orlando against the team with the 22-game win streak. 1st and 10, hikes the ball. Daniel Jones hands it off up the middle. And a decent run here of about 5 yards. First time we're going to call the name of Britton Brown on the ground here today. 2nd and 4 coming up here. Hikes the ball. Draw play. Again, it's Britton Brown who's going to break a tackle, fall forward, and get a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. Make it a 3rd and very short situation with about 4 minutes and 10 seconds and counting here in the second quarter for the Duke Blue Devils at the 31-yard line. 3rd and 1 is what they're going to go ahead and mark it as. They need about a yard and a little more for the first down. Jones may keep this one. No, he's going to hand it off up the middle and stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Tanner Muse is there. Also, Dexter Lawrence. And I don't know if I really like this play call to go right into the teeth of this Clemson defense. I would have spread them out and try to get a short pass play for a first down. You're going to have a hard time doing that. And now here comes Austin Parker again to punt the ball. Amari Rogers deep to return. Got to watch for the fake if you're Clemson with this short of situation. And Parker is going to get this one off. It's a high one, and it's going to be a fair catch at the 31, and that could possibly change field positioning here. At the 32-yard line is where it's going to be marked. Trevor Lawrence just kind of off here today, misfiring for Renfro, trying to hit T. Higgins, but throwing it a little high. T. Higgins comes down with it, but out of bounds, and Rogers could not come down with a key play on the edge because it was overthrown. And now here's the drive so far today. 4 plays, punt, 3-play punt, 3-play punt, 7 plays, touchdown, 3-play punt, 3-play punt, 3-play punt. Overall, though, outside of their touchdown drive, they're struggling to really find anything offensively. Ball at the 32-yard line, and here's Lawrence standing in the shotgun, hikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence stepping up. Now he's going to dump it off short, and the ball is loose. I think it was a backwards pass, and Etienne is the one who dropped it here in the backfield. And they're going to go ahead and wave it as an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 here. 30 seconds to snap the ball. That's irrelevant. But Etienne should have had that. 7 for 18 tonight for Trevor Lawrence. 95 yards, 0 for 6 on 3rd downs tonight. Lawrence, 2 guys wide left, 2 guys wide right. With a man to the left side of him is going to be Etienne. Hikes the ball, throws over the middle. It's caught. Higgins with a 1st down on the slant route out to the 45. And 3 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Now and counting. Clemson looking to get a score before the start of the 2nd half as Duke receives the 2nd half kickoff. So to me, it's very critical for Clemson to go ahead and score, given that Duke has been able to move the football a little bit. Not as of late, though. Hikes the ball back to throw. Quick throw to the left side. It's going to be caught by Rodgers, breaking a tackle and getting to the sticks. Short of the sticks, excuse me. It'll be a 2nd and 1 coming up here with 2:38 to play in the 2nd quarter. Amari Rodgers. Second and 1 coming up here. Press coverage on the outside while the man in the slot's not quite accounted for. Here's a handoff to Etienne, and he's going to get that 1st down, getting a gain of about 3 yards out to the Duke 42-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 coming up here. 7-6 is the score here. Clemson with the lead and driving with 2:20 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Duke will receive the 2nd half kickoff as they try to improve to 8-3 on the season and knock off any playoff hope for Clemson, or at least diminish the playoff hope, I should say, for Clemson, while Clemson is trying to protect that. Hikes the ball back to throw to his right side, and it's going to be caught. Amari Rodgers, who gets out of bounds at the 31-yard line with 2:03 now to go in the 2nd quarter. And Amari Rodgers getting going, and this is the first time since the touchdown drive that they've sustained a lot of moving the football here. The 2nd time all game that they've sustained more than 5 plays. 1st and 10 coming up here. Hikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence under pressure throws over the middle. It's going to be dropped. Almost caught a little bit high and not quite being able to pull down is Braden Galloway. As the helmet comes off for a Duke player, and it looks like it is Lumi Young who has to come off the field. Yeah, it's Lumi Young who also made the play on Galloway on the ball.
Training reel for the NCAA, too. That's the right way to make that play.
2nd and 10 coming up here at the 31-yard line within Greg Hugel's field goal range. Hikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence looking left side on the screen. It's going to be caught. Justin Ross breaking a tackle. Ross trying to stay on his feet and diving forward out to the 19. It'll be a 1st down in the red zone for Clemson with 1:27 to play here in the 2nd quarter. The clock will start momentarily, but a lot of broken tackles. 1 guy missed. 2 guys missed. Hurdled a guy in the process, or at least hopped over him, diving for 3 guys that Justin Ross made miss there. 2 receptions for 53 yards for Ross here. 1:25 left to go here in the 2nd quarter and counting. Lawrence back to throw, looking right side, throws, back shoulder, Justin Ross, touchdown! The true freshman Justin Ross makes a big play in the end zone, and Clemson is up by 7 pending the extra point. In coverage there, Brandon Feemster could not quite make a play on the ball, and as a result, Clemson is going to have a narrow lead blown into a touchdown and a 2-point conversion lead. If Hugo can hit this extra point, snaps good, kick on the way, and good. 14-6, Clemson with the lead in Duke. And that is just Justin Ross making a play on the ball. Feemster not able to quite stick with Justin Ross's speedster. And Trevor Lawrence, Justin Ross came in together, and they go ahead and connect with each other for 6 here. Justin Ross has gotten going as of late for Clemson. Talented young freshman.
Certainly, they could not have played much better outside of that last drive. But the minute 16 left, we're talking about maybe they go down and get some hard work. As Clemson makes one.
It's 14-6 here with a minute 16 left to go in the second quarter. It'll be a big statement if Duke can score before the half. I don't know if they would necessarily want to go for that. Keep Clemson off the field. Take this one into the half, only down 8. As here's the return. Breaking a tackle, and Deion Jackson getting out to the 22-yard line out to the right side. UCF's chance to climb up the rankings tonight with a big win as they take the lead 7-6. Stunner in Stillwater as well. And Ohio State's epic win against Maryland 52-51. What a tremendous game by Dwayne Haskins. And you can say how bad the defense played, but man, Dwayne Haskins was a highlight so far today. First and 10 coming up with a minute 12 left to minute 10. Hikes the ball back to throw. Takes a shot. Almost picked off here by Simmons. Right through the hands. And second and 10 coming up here. Jonathan Lloyd, the intended target. And this is what happens when you try to throw it over the top of Clemson. You can't just throw it aimlessly. I get you got a lot of pressure coming at you. That's when you need to get stuff along the boundaries with your speedsters in space. Hikes the ball back to throw. Quick throw it to the right side. Caught Deion Jackson, swung down at the 28. And it's going to be so hard for Duke to make a play because they are not able to block this front four for Clemson. Even when they bring 3 and drop one of the defensive linemen, they can't block them. 3rd and 4 coming up here. And movement on the Duke side of the football. Now, Clemson has all 3 timeouts to work with. In fact, both teams do. So that means if Duke does decide to get conservative and run the ball, Clemson's going to call a timeout. They're going to get the ball back here. So now if I'm Duke, I go ahead and try to get this first down. Let's see what they end up doing. They will go ahead and throw the ball out the right side. Trying to get a flag. And no call, though, here for Deion Jackson up the right side. And with 57 seconds of play in the second quarter yet again, Clemson is going to get the football back.
Jack Smith didn't know if he was out there to cover him. He reacts late. And Deion Jackson not able to bring that football down. But a little bit of miscommunication in the secondary.
4th and 9 here with 57 seconds of play in the second quarter at the 22-yard line. Snaps good, kick off in a boomer. Rogers calls a fair catch at the 35-yard line. With 50 seconds to play, this is plenty of time for Clemson to go down the field. There is a flag on the field. And we are just waiting to see what this flag is. I have no idea. And it's holding on the return team, so that will bring Clemson back to the 25-yard line. And that might just go ahead and take us into the half, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Clemson tried to score. But the risk, you know, even though Lawrence was playing better on that last drive and you might want to test that, the risk possibly that you don't make a good play here and they make a big mistake leading to a Duke score. I don't know if you take the chance, but they do have 4 wide receivers in the game, 2 on each side on the left hash. Hikes the ball back to throw. Here's Lawrence. Throws right side, caught on the out route, and it's going to be a first down here for Thompson. And the first time we're going to call Travion Thompson's name here today with 44 seconds left as he gets out of bounds. The five-star quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, 13 of 25 for 174 yards. Starting to find his rhythm as of late. Man in motion, Etienne goes to the left side. Now he's going to go back to the right side of Lawrence. Hikes the ball back to throw. Looks left side. It's going to be caught. Taken down in bounds, though, and a timeout maybe having to be spent, and indeed it is. Hayes on the tackle as the timeout isn't called here by Clemson.
Watch the line slide that way, and then Etienne kind of take the late hit off the quarterback. That is what the pass quarterback is all about.
Darian Kendrick on that last reception, but a good blocking scheme here. Etienne picking up a key block to make that pass able to be completed. A lot of pressure off the edge. Now, Clemson, if they can get a field goal, make this a two-score game to go into the half, we're looking at a game in which Duke thought they would have a chance. They were only down by one for most of this first half. They were actually up 6-0 at point at the end of the first quarter. 10 first downs for each team. There was a time when Duke had Clemson on first downs 10-5, but Duke has gotten nothing as of late, and Clemson's got it all as of late. Hikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence is going to deliver. Deep, incomplete, overthrown. Overshooting T. Higgins, and there'll be a 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Clemson Tiger offense. And he just has time in the pocket. He sat back there, and he just delivered that ball high. And it just happens sometimes, but I'm not on the same page here with T. Higgins. 1 for 7 on 3rd down passing, 15 yards. He ended his slump on the last possession with 3rd downs. Let's see if he can do this again or continue his slump. 3rd and 6 coming up here. Blitz coming off to the left side. And Lawrence is drilled as the ball is thrown high, intended for T. Higgins. And Johnson with the tremendous blitz, well-timed here by Leonard Johnson, the safety, the freshman, just coming in at the right time and not picked up, not accounted for. Etienne cannot get to both those guys on the edge and contain them. Now with 29 seconds left, I wouldn't be shocked, if Duke went after this punt here. If you can get after Spire's punt and avoid hitting him, you almost got a block earlier in the game. Let's see if you can try to draw up something similar. They are going to show pressure, and they will not, as this one's a rugby-style punt by Spires, and this one will roll all the way down to the 7. I think Duke's going to just take this into the half with 19 seconds to play in the second quarter. I'll be very surprised if Duke does anything other than kneel this football. And we'll be right back as we have 19 seconds left to play here in the quarter. All right, and Duke is going to go ahead and line up in the backfield. I doubt they're going to run the ball or not run the ball. Here's a handoff to Deion Jackson. Right side hangs on to that football and gets about 5 yards. And that'll do it for the first half. We will be back in the second half. I'm going to take a break here. The score: Clemson 14, Duke 6. We got a ball game early. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I will see you guys in a bit. 14-6 here, halftime in Death Valley. 14-6 night game. Earlier today, Dwayne Haskins hitting Ben Victor for a 3-yard touchdown pass to tie the ball game up, 45 and a piece. And on 4th and 1, a dump-off pass to Rashad Berry for a big first down in that ball game. Later in the drive, back the next play, Dwayne Haskins takes the QB keeper on the read option, sticks it into the end zone, 52-45 Buckeyes, until, of course, the man himself. Oh, that's not McFarland. That is Tayon Fleet Davis sticking it in, and Pig Rome rolling out on the 2-point conversion, throws and misfires on a wide open receiver. Incomplete in Ohio State. Hangs on a pick play design that didn't quite work, but then he spun off that pick play and got wide open. That pick play was supposed to go to the right side, which was covered well by Ohio State. That wasn't the design of the play to throw back, and he just misfired, throwing it back off his back foot. And now here's Michigan versus Indiana. 10-9 is the score. Shea Patterson over the middle, hitting his man wide open. Patterson 16 of 28 for 250 yards, a touchdown and interception as well today for Shea Patterson. In Yankee Stadium, Notre Dame in the Shamrock Series. Tied score at 0 apiece. Ian Book over the middle. Dexter Williams sticking in the end zone for a big touchdown. Early in this ball game, it's 10-0. Dungy fakes the handoff, and he's going to run the ball, and he's going to go out with an injury here in the second quarter. 23-0. Ian Book back to throw again. It hits his man Chase Claypool for a touchdown. 36-3. Ian Book, 23 for 37 and 292 yards with a handful of touchdown tosses here today. Now, how will this change the College Football Playoff Committee's rankings? West Virginia has fallen, so we will not have the exact same top 10. At least we know that, as we did a week ago. The Bearcats, at the end of the first, trailed the Knights 7-6. I forgot to make that second quarter update here. But you got to be interested to see this. Also, Washington State plays later tonight. Clemson's not quite done, of course, with this game, but it looks like if anyone would have to guess, and the average viewer would have to guess, Clemson's going to hang on to this win. So what does this mean? And it's a big week for sure in college football, because this is a week right before a lot of the rivalries, before the Apple Cup. Don't want to sleep on Arizona if you're Washington State. Ohio State and Michigan both already slept on their respective opponents. Indiana, and more so and more dangerously with Maryland and Ohio State somehow pulling that one off. And I still can't believe how they were able to do that. And Oklahoma struggling early against Kansas, 21-10. Looking forward to that big matchup against West Virginia. And, of course, West Virginia may have been caught peeking forward. I don't necessarily know if they were, but would end up allowing Oklahoma State to drive down the field and score with about 40 seconds left. That would be the game-winning touchdown for Taylor Cornelius, finding Tylan Wallace over the middle. So then that brings up the question. I don't do halftime shows very often. I took a small break here. That brings up the question, though, about the college football playoff rankings. And will this have any change? Will UCF possibly jump Ohio State with a win? Will West Virginia is about to fall out? We'll see what Washington State can do. Will some of these one-loss teams also start to surpass LSU? I don't know if they would. I mean, LSU is right now up 28-3 against 1-10 Rice. Definitely a game that is easily handled right there. And Ohio State struggled with Maryland, but on the same token, if you want to say they will drop Ohio State and they shouldn't be as highly ranked or move up based on the West Virginia loss because of a struggle against Maryland on the road, keep in mind at home against Oklahoma State, Oklahoma probably should have lost a misfire on the 2-point conversion, similar to how the Ohio State game finished today. Oklahoma State with 500 passing yards, Maryland with over 300 rush yards as a team. So both defenses not playing well, and yet Oklahoma stayed put at number 6 in the country. I would assume that Ohio State would either stay put. Well, in this case, West Virginia lost, so I would expect them to move up because the team ahead of them had lost. And now you're looking at a game next week between West Virginia and Oklahoma where Ohio State could possibly see a 2-loss Big 12 champion before it's all said and done. And Ohio State could all of a sudden be in the top 8 before we know it, possibly jump LSU. Washington State's right there with the Apple Cup. So it affects Washington State too because Washington State's number 8 right now. If West Virginia can beat Oklahoma, they will probably jump LSU with a win against Washington State. If that happens, Washington State's probably at number 5, just needing either Michigan, Notre Dame, Clemson, or Alabama to lose. Sorry, number 6, and then Georgia, Alabama loser would get knocked out, I'm assuming. But, of course, a lot of people are defendant of Alabama if they were to lose to Georgia. I'm not a big fan of that. Look, when you have this many teams that can have one loss and get to the college football playoff with a one-loss conference champion in that conference, such as a Washington State, I'm not taking a one-loss Alabama, who's not a conference champion, because if you get a one-loss Washington State, a one-loss Ohio State, or a one-loss Michigan, I don't care who you are, I'm putting you in if you're a one-loss Power 5 champion. And quite honestly, for me personally, I would put UCF in the top 20, the top 4 if they go ahead and win out and get that American Athletic Conference championship, and I would put them at number 4 over any one-loss Power 5 team. If they were to hang on, because they would have had a couple of quality wins by that point, especially if Pitt continues to roll here as of late. Tylan Wallace, though, the big story here, scoring a touchdown, shaking up the top 10 a little bit with a big touchdown. Will Greer back to throw, pump faking off his back foot, now throwing on the run to David Sills, batted away. And Oklahoma State 3rd win versus a ranked opponent this season. Now, of course, that could possibly go back to current rankings in which they beat Boise State earlier in the season. Well, Boise State's in a ranking right now, so it doesn't matter. They beat Boise State, Texas, and West Virginia, which West Virginia is going to stay in the top 25. I can't remember how Boise State did today. They played yet? Oh, yeah, that's right. They played yesterday and beat New Mexico. So they're going to stay in. And Texas right now is looking at Purdy against Brock Purdy in Iowa State, 14-3 in the middle stages of the second quarter right now for the 6-3. For the 7-3 Horns. Now, here's basically the easiest path. If the winner of Oklahoma, West Virginia will still go to the conference championship. So West Virginia would still get in if they beat Oklahoma. However, if Iowa State wins the remaining 2 games, then, of course, they took Kansas off that board. Like, that game's over. It's not quite over. But no, for real. If by any chance Iowa State comes back and beats Texas, then you could possibly be dealing with a West Virginia Iowa State rematch in the Big 12 championship. I don't know. There's a lot of chaos that could possibly happen. Right now, as a conference, Bob Goolsby is definitely looking to see Oklahoma just win out and make the playoff for the for the 3rd year in the last 4 years. Other scores around the nation, starting with the Big Ten. Iowa beating Illinois by a score of 63-0. You know, Illinois started gaining traction as of late, playing a little bit better football. Probably the best football since Lovie Smith's arrival. So it's very interesting to see that Iowa, a former top 25 team, feeling disrespected for dropping out of the rankings. Also, Florida taking care of business against Idaho 63-10. Kentucky hanging on against Middle Tennessee 34-23. Mississippi State rolls past Arkansas 52-6. Penn State with a drubbing of Rutgers, not drubbing, but definitely a game that wasn't ever really close, but dominated by Penn State, but wasn't quite the way they expected it. 20-7, Penn State with a win. Northwestern, the Big Ten West champions, does it again. 24-14 win against Minnesota. Utah in the top 20 for a reason, and they still have hope in that Pac-12 South with a win, 30-7 against Colorado. Utah State, interesting thing that transpired. Number 23, Utah State 29, Colorado State 24. When the pass to the end zone, game-winning Hail Mary call reversed, so it had Colorado State 30-29 win on a Hail Mary, but illegal touching on the play for Colin Hill, throwing the ball deep. And Colorado State had, sadly, I mean, nothing against Utah State at all. I've been a big proponent of Utah State being ranked highly, but Colorado State, it would have been awesome to see them win on a Hail Mary there. Colorado State losing that ball game on that Hail Mary. And Florida State upsetting number 20 Boston College by a score of 22-21, hurting Clemson's quality win for this season. Oklahoma State, West Virginia, that is the headline right now. Still in other action, Georgia 66, UMass 27, and Washington, number 18 in the country, 42, Oregon State 23. That is top 25 action. Let's go ahead and look at the ACC now that we are in an ACC football game, as Pitt beat Wake Forest earlier today, trying to make a statement for the top 25, possibly for the Pitt Panthers before they take on Clemson. They still got a matchup with Miami looming, who beat Virginia Tech earlier today by a score of 38-14, where N'Kosi Perry absolutely took over. An overtime win for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets by a score of 30-27 against the Virginia Cavaliers, a big win for them, while confidence booster for North Carolina, 49-26 over Western Carolina. And finally, Louisville's struggles just continue, and maybe North Carolina is not the worst team, as they got a debate with Louisville as they get drubbed 52-10 against NC State. And that'll do it here for me right now, as current games are all going on around the country. UCF stands 14-6, Iowa State 3, Texas 14. We'll be back when this ball game kicks off yet again. And welcome back here. Second half about to kick off in Death Valley. We got a 8-point game. 14-6 here in Memorial Stadium following them honoring the vets.
We'll show you some highlights of that. A lot of places do a military appreciation night.
As here is the kick taken from the goal line by Jackson. Jackson trying to get a lane. Jackson busting upfield, and it's going to be shy of the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 coming up here. 14-6. 7 punts early for the Clemson Tigers here today. It'll be interesting to see if Dabo's squad can turn it up because Duke has not scored in offense, and they scored on offense. They've had 2 field goals. 2 guys wide right, 1 guy wide left, tied into the left side as well. Daniel Jones play action back to throw. He's going to take a shot over the middle, incomplete, and that's kind of been the tale of the story for Duke. Drop passes. This one's Chris Taylor, who can't come down with it with coverage by Trayvon Mullen. 2 guys wide right, 1 guy wide left, tied into the left side. Jones. Here's the handoff to Jackson. Jackson spinning off of Kendall Joseph's tackle, getting back to the line of scrimmage where he is stopped by Tanner Muse. And it'll be a 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Duke Blue Devil offense. So here's a big 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Clemson defense. 14-20 left to play. Hikes the ball back to throw. Jones lofting it to the left side, trying to make a diving grab. It's Chris Taylor again, but incomplete, and a 3-and-out for Duke. Not even moving the ball a yard on that drive, and that is a big loss for Duke. All the momentum going into half was Clemson's, but Duke had something to hang their hat on. They could get the ball only down 8 to start the second half, and they could do nothing, not even move the ball to set up Clemson deep into their own territory. And now you get a chance for Clemson's offense to amend what they have made wrong. As here's a Rodgers taking that ball at the 42, backing up to the 40 and getting taken down at the 39, and they're going to go ahead and mark it there. So here comes Clemson's offense, 14:06 in the 3rd quarter, so only a 54-second time. 50-4 record for the senior class. That includes Wilkins and Choice. 3 straight ACC championships and 3 straight college football playoff appearance. And the 2016 national champions. They are going for their 4th straight ACC championship. Here is Clemson. 1st and 10. Hikes the ball. Here's a handoff to Etienne to the left side. Etienne breaking through. Etienne out to the 45 and down at the 42. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 coming up here for the Clemson Tigers into Duke territory. Duke having problems now defensively. Etienne getting his first big carry of the ball game, getting 10 or more yards for the first time. 2 guys wide right, 1 guy wide left, tied into the left side on the left hash mark. Hikes the ball. Here's the fake handoff, and there goes Trevor Lawrence up to the right side. Swung down and hit by Ben Humphreys at about the 34. It'll be a 2nd and 3 coming up here for Clemson following the run by Trevor Lawrence. 17 rush yards in the first half. That's the fewest in the first half for Clemson since 2011, which was against North Carolina back then, and that was 15 yards against North Carolina. 13-10 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Etienne to the right side of Lawrence in the shotgun. Hikes the ball back to throw, looking left side and just eyeballing his target, but not able to hit T. Higgins. And here's a 3rd down coming up here for Trevor Lawrence. And I think this is a little bit of a problem. He couldn't even look off his DBs, and that could end up hurting him maybe in playoff time. Hunter Renfro going down earlier, though. I think that's kind of took the wind out of the sails for this receiving core, who hasn't been playing tremendous. This is his 43rd start, most by a receiver in Clemson, and 39 straight games with the reception, best in Clemson history. Hikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence, pressure, takes a shot in it. First down, Amari Rogers. And we take under it. 13 minutes left to go. Feemster's the one who comes up with the tackle in the secondary for Duke. And it's a first down out to the 27-yard line of Duke. Two guys wide left, one guy wide right with a man motioning to the left side is going to be Etienne. Now Etienne's going to get the carry to the right side. Etienne breaks free. Etienne's got space and a touchdown. Clemson. Travis Etienne running it in off the right side in a great design, and now Clemson's up 2 scores in this ball game, and Duke starting to kind of unravel here late, as I think they got away with a little bit of holding, but I'm not going to make a big deal about that.
Had his hand out on the jersey, but Travis Etienne with 2 big runs on that drive.
20-6 here for Duke. Snaps good, kick on the way, and good. And a 15-point deficit faces this Duke offense as Daniel Jones looks to hit the field yet again. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Kickoff getting ready to set here early in the third quarter, and it's off, underway. And through the end zone for a touchback for Deion Jackson. So now honoring the military, the USMC, U.S. Marine Corps. The Clemson Corps salutes our veterans and everyone down on the field there. It's tremendous to see this, and tremendously silent for salutes and all this to our veterans. And a very tremendous sight to see for Clemson. And, you know, hate them or love them, Clemson, you got to respect that. 4 guys wide right, 1 guy wide left here for Daniel Jones. Hikes the ball back to throw. He's going to throw quick to the right side. This one's going to be brought down, and this is a ramming who comes down with it. I think the big issue with Duke right now is the receivers, and Daniel Jones is a little bit out of sync right now. They've had big play opportunities, at least plays for 15-plus yards, that they haven't been able to connect on just because of miscommunication from the quarterback and the receiver, and some drops too, as Ramming comes up with another diving catch along the sideline. It will be a 3rd and 2 coming up here. 3rd and 1, excuse me. And if I'm Duke, I just don't run this ball and stack the line of scrimmage like that. I empty out the backfield, and if nothing's there, tell Daniel Jones to take off with it, extend the play, and get that first down. But now they're stacking the line of scrimmage with 2 tight ends to the left side, and Daniel Jones will keep this one and get to the sticks for a first down as it looks. Yep, they're going to go ahead and move those chains, and that was a break there for Duke for sure, as Daniel Jones keeps it up the middle. Jones, big body here, keeping that football. He's a 6'5", 220-pound kid from Charlotte, North Carolina. Went to Charlotte Latin High School. Here's a handoff now to Britton Brown, and the Britton Brown is going to get a gain of about 3. Daniel Jones has been through a lot here. Tough kid, up and down throughout his career at Duke. Started as a freshman a couple years ago, and he's still got a year left. Jones, a captain as a junior, in the shotgun formation with a heavy backfield. Hikes the ball back to throw. He's going to throw quick out of the backfield. Gets his tight end for a first down out to the 50-yard line. This one is Daniel Helm. Is a little bit gingerly right now as Daniel Jones. Backup quarterback is Quentin Harris. Brings more of a running threat to the offense, in which that's what Duke kind of had the most success with. They had Renfree for a little bit. Sorry, not Renfree. Well, yeah, it was Renfree. Here's a handoff. Britton Brown breaking through contain, and Britton Brown getting an 8-yard gain into Clemson territory. And a first down. Or sorry, short of the first down. 2nd down and 2 coming up here. Brown to the right side, hikes the ball, gets the handoff as Britton Brown, and Brown's going to be stood up about a half-yard short of the marker. It'll be 3rd and about inches here, and I wouldn't be surprised. This is 4-down territory here, and you get a lot of, oh, they do move the chains. Never mind, they do move the chains, give a first down here. Britton Brown still in the game. 10 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Duke going to the ground a little bit more on this drive. No one's been able to run on Clemson all year. 9:45 to play now in the 3rd quarter. Hikes the ball back to throw. Jones with pressure is brought down for a sack at the 46. Cleveland Furl on the sack. 2nd down and 15 now. 9:20 and counting here. He looked at the hitch route, and he just didn't deliver. He could have easily delivered instead of taking that sack. 2nd and 15, empty back reel with 4 people to the right side. Throwing under duress, and it's brought down near the chains, and it's going to be a yard short. But what a throw, and an even better catch here by Johnson Damon Philyaw, excuse me. And what? Throws off his back foot. Tight window, hits it. And now they're going to stack the line of scrimmage. 2 tight ends set in a possible 4-down situation here. Daniel Jones 4 for 4 on this drive. I would expect a pass if I'm Clemson, but they're going to go ahead and run it anyway. And they're running it to the 28-yard line is Britton Brown, who's getting the workload here early in the second half instead of Jackson. And the 1st and 10 coming up here as it looked like Furl and Wilkins were both subbing out of the play here. 2 guys wide on each side, but split shorts. Hikes the ball back to throw. Here is Daniel Jones stepping up in the pocket, tries to go deep. Jones staying behind the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get sacked by Tanner Muse. Loses a couple yards, but that just climbing backwards, I think Daniel Jones would have been better off either taking a shot, taking his loss, and throwing it away, or just trying to get as much as he can running the ball. Tanner Muse with a great job pursuing, but I think he did end up having someone, but here's a 2nd down and 12 coming up here for Daniel Jones. Empty backfield. Man in motion is going to be Deion Jackson. And movement here, I think this one's going to be on Duke.
Jones told us they changed the cadence just for this week. Let's see if he caught Clemson.
Offsides on Clemson. Offside. Okay, so no one did move. It was just a great call on the cadence. Albert Huggins was the one who moved early, the senior defensive tackle who does not get a lot of love in there not too often. 2nd and 7 coming up here. Empty backfield again with the wide receiver split short to the left side. Rolling out to the left is Daniel Jones, and it's a drop here by Johnson. Sorry, Jonathan Lloyd. I don't know why I was thinking Johnson. Third and 7. $12 seconds to snap the ball here for Daniel Jones. Hikes the ball, pressure coming, throws, it's tipped again. And now at the 25, you got to be interested to see if David Cutcliffe wants to go for this one. It's very interesting to see that. They're going to go ahead and attempt this field goal. 2 for 2 today, but this one's a little bit longer than those other ones for Colin Warham.
Out there on the Duke sideline, 10 guys on the field. It looked like Mark Chambers, the right guard, out on the field.
2 seconds to snap the ball. Low snap, gets it up, and it's wide right. No good for Colin Wareham. And if I am Duke, I want to call a timeout there because, of course, it's burning a timeout, but you weren't completely set. Had to rush a guy onto the field late. And with 2 seconds left to snap it, you go ahead and snap it and hook that kick. And Daniel Jones couldn't get any points out of a decent drive. And we'll be back. Clemson takes over, leading 21-6. And welcome back out here. Clemson with a 21-6 lead here in Death Valley Memorial Stadium in Clemson, South Carolina. And they look to kind of blow this game away as not allowing a touchdown, even though they've allowed 3 drives to go ahead and get inside the Clemson 30. Trevor Lawrence in the shotgun with 2 guys to the wide left, 1 guy wide right. Hikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence is throwing quick and low, and it's going to be a diving catch by Justin Ross for a gain of 4.
Rushing yards in the first half versus them getting it going.
2nd and 6 coming up here for Clemson. Last drive, 54 yards rushing, only 17 yards in the first half in its entirety. Etienne to the right side. Ike's the ball. Here's the handoff to Etienne, trying to get a lane. Etienne's going to push forward to get a gain of 2. Lucas on the tackle here. Lucas Jr. Terrell Lucas, the defensive end, one of the leaders on this defensive front. We only have 1 senior on this entire defense for Duke starting, which is Humphreys. 3rd and 5 coming up here. Trevor Lawrence, man in motion to the left side. A new guy into the ball game is TJ Chase. Hikes the ball back to throw, looking left side to Chase. He's going to bomb it. Chase makes a play on the ball, and it's Kendricks. Number 10, not 18. And it'll be a 1st down and 10 coming up here. Darian Kendrick able to hang on to that one, a lot more contested. And better coverage than it was last time, but Kendrick is just able to get it on a nice touch pass by Trevor Lawrence into Duke territory around the 40-yard line. He's going to get taken down at the 38 of Duke, where Feimster is finally able to bring him down. Hikes the ball. Here's a quick throw to the right side. Lucas trying to make a move. Chase. 2nd down and short coming up. 2nd and 2 after the throw on the screen.
So that's natural for a big, tall, young, strapping young man. But the ball in the NFL, it's about how fast does it get out. It can't go below that line, okay? It needs to stay high, which will allow him to get the ball.
2nd and 1 coming up here. 4:58 in counting to play here in the 3rd quarter. Hikes the ball. Here's the handoff left side. And trying to bounce it outside. Can he get to that 1st down marker? No, he cannot. This handoff to Lynn J. Dixon. Feimster is the one who comes up with the tackle, and it'll be a 3rd and 2 coming up here. Injury on the field. This is going to be Ben Humphreys, a senior, 225 pounds, 6'2", from Newport Beach, California, where they are weak in the linebacking position. So this is not good to see Ben Humphreys down. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Kansas, Oklahoma. Kyler Murray scrambling around, only down or only up 4, and Murray's going to keep it in. And they are up 11 again on 3-7 Kansas, 28-17 in the third quarter. As we are out here, 3rd and 2. Xander Gagnon is in the game for Humphreys. 3rd and 3. They'll bring the blitz off the edge, breaking the tackles. Etienne high-stepping, touchdown! Travis Etienne into the end zone. Breaking this game away for the Clemson offense.
This is just a flash of the talent that Travis Etienne brings. A smarter player, a better player with vision, patience, a little bit more strength. Still has that explosiveness on the second level.
And a big touchdown for Travis Etienne as he rushes this one in 77 yards on only 4 rushes in the second half. In the first half, he had 5 rushes for only 4 yards. 2 touchdowns already in the second half. Hugel. Snap good, kick up and good.
Now more of a score that you would have expected. Clemson on top of 28-6. And then on that before touchdown to lose Ben Humphreys, who is really the heart and soul of this defense. Looks like that left knee comes up. If he didn't put any pressure on that knee coming off the field, and your heart breaks.
And the left knee for Ben Humphreys, the captain. They've been plagued with injuries at the wrong times. Daniel Jones hurt earlier in the year. Wasn't really expected to come back initially. Giles Harris is also hurt. Dylan Singleton is hurt. 2 top tacklers on the team in Singleton and Harris. Now Ben Humphreys is out with his leg. Brandon Hill is out with targeting and a hit for Mark Gilbert. And that's the defense today for Duke. Key players out, and that's at the end of the day what's key. As here's the kick, sending it deep for Clemson. Deion Jackson through the end zone. Or touchback.
Take a look at our PlayStation Player Index.
Christian Wilkins today from Springfield, Massachusetts. 10.5 tackles for loss of the season and 3 sacks. Projected 8th overall in the NFL draft.
That's a Cleveland Pearl in the green. We're going to say this one more time. Cleveland Pearl, last name.
1st and 10 coming up here. Screen pass out to the right side is going to be ramming out to the 33-yard line. I think it's important for Duke not only to score a touchdown on this drive and make it closer than it should be right now, but also as Simmons is cramping up on the Duke sideline, also you got to take a lot of time, keep that defense off the field of yours so they can go ahead and get another 3 and out. They've been playing very good until the second half. That whole entire first half was controlled by Duke's defense. We'll be right back here in a short bit. And welcome back. Ben Humphreys being carted off and taken back. Of course, if you guys saw that Zoom, I'm working on the scoreboard for Washington State, Arizona, which will kick off at 10:30 Eastern. 28-6 here, 35-yard line. Now Daniel Jones back to throw, looking left side, hits a man underneath for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. This is Chris Taylor. And it'll be a second down and 6 yards left to go here before a first down for Daniel Jones in this Duke offense. Moving the football pretty well. Hikes the ball. Here's a handoff in the middle of Deion Jackson. And out to the 40-yard line. And it'll be a 3rd and 5-ish yards to go. Players drafted in the NFL since 2009. Only 4 for Duke, while 52 for Clemson. 4 guys wide left, 1 guy wide right. Here's Daniel Jones. Snap the ball back to throw. Jones pressured and sacked at the 32. Dropped by Christian Wilkins. And not quite surprised.
I know he was a transfer from Ohio State, but he is no match for number 42 in purple or number 90.
So 4th and 13, the 8th punt today for Austin Parker. It's taken deep out to the 16. Rogers going to make a man miss and get out to the 21-yard line. So 53-yard punt, net of about 48. So 6th overall, Dexter Lawrence, and the 8th overall is Christian Wilkins, according to Todd McShay's big draft board in the 2019 draft. While you got the 12th overall prospect in Cleveland Ferrell and 62nd in Austin Bryant, which is pretty freaking good. The fact that, that's a little bit disappointing that Austin Bryant is 62nd. He's 62nd. That's a second rounder. Maybe a late second rounder, but it's a second rounder nonetheless. Definitely a day 2 guy. So 1st and 10, hikes the ball. Here's the handoff to the left side. Feaster cutting it upfield, and Feaster's going to be brought down after a gain of 2 by Feaster. Excuse me. 3.6 sacks per game this season, tied 2nd in the FBS. They got 4 tonight for Clemson's defensive line. 2nd and 8 coming up here. 1:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Hikes the ball back to throw. Quick swing pass out to Feaster to the right side. Feaster spin move. Feaster breaking tackles and getting out to the 32-yard line on the right side, which is a first down.
Speaking about that defense, we asked Brent Venables about it. He said next year it's demoralizing. Think about early retirement.
1st and 10 here with 1:20 and counting left to go in the 3rd quarter for Clemson, up 28-6 on Duke. Basically putting the nail in the coffin with a Travis Etienne touchdown run. Hikes the ball, play action, and now here's Lawrence going to have to pull it down, scramble. Lawrence up the sideline, got to step out to the 50 and a first down for Trevor Lawrence. And a lot of pressure here. Should have been brought down really for a sack, but when he got the boundary, no one was able to take it down. He just has to stumble out of bounds at the 50-ish yard line. I don't know where they spotted the ball, and they decided to spot the ball at the 49 of Duke for first down in Duke territory. Hikes the ball, low snap, back to throw, rolling out to the right now, Bull looking back left. Wide open is Amari Rogers, who drops the ball. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. And a great play design, but Amari Rogers could not bring it down.
Tell you what, remember last year, the beginning of the year, Deion Kane and others, they had a really hard job catching the football. A lot of drops. And tonight, it's reared its ugly head again. We've seen time to time big plays.
2nd and 10 coming up here for Clemson.
And now Rogers dropping the football.
Champions in 2016, looking to make it 2 in 3 years. Here's a pop pass to the right side to Feaster, trying to cut it up out to the 48, but nowhere to go after that. And it'll be a 3rd and 9 coming up here for the Duke Blue Devil defense, trying to get off the field.
This was one you mentioned. Kendrick would have been a clear touchdown. Tien had his turn. And now Rodgers. Galloway had that big throw out. Those good defensive play there, too.
And that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter, as we were talking about the drops for Clemson today. We'll be back 28-6. 1 quarter to play. Welcome back out here. 15 minutes to play as Feaster's going to get the delayed handoff, and Feaster's going to pound forward out to that 36 and a 1st down off of a 1st down on a 1st down play. It'll be a big-time run by Tavian Feaster. Look at that hit there. Lower the bloom. Boom. That's a bloom. Boom. Here. 1st and 10 coming up here for the Clemson offense. 116 rush yards in the 2nd half. 17 in the first half. That's a tale of two halves right there. And here is Feaster breaking. Sorry, it's Adam Choice breaking free, but he stumbles and falls. 2nd and 3.
Throughout the rest of this game, this offensive line and the running game primarily want to run this clock out, get out of this game with a victory, stay as healthy as possible, and
coming up next, 10:30 Eastern time, and just a little more than a half hour, Washington State will take on Arizona. 2nd and 2. Ikes the ball, keeping it on the edge is Trevor Lawrence, who's going to get out of bounds.
Trevor Lawrence learning on the job with respect to his health and running the football, right? Go back to that Syracuse game, he didn't get out of bounds, he got hurt.
3rd and 3 coming up here for Trevor Lawrence in this offense with 13:35 left to go here in the second. In the second half, the fourth quarter. 20 for 36, 241 total yards passing yards tonight for Trevor Lawrence. Ikes the ball. Here's speed option out to the right side. Choice is going to get chopped down a yard short of that marker at the 27. It'll be a 4th down. Looks like Clemson wants to go for it.
No hesitation from Dabo Sweeney. They're going to bring in Garrett Williams, a tight end. Two tight ends set here. And the way that Choice has been running the ball physically, I agree with this.
Williams and Malone Richard to the right side as tight ends. 2 tight ends set in man motion as Choice to the left side. Ikes the ball, gets the handoff. Choice is going to pound forward and get the first down past the sticks out to the 23. Big game for Choice, just pounding forward.
Take a look at Gage Cervenka right here. That's the reason why he's starting now at that right guard position. Just gets low center of gravity and comes off and drives the defender off the ball. That's why he's playing more.
So 1st and 10 coming up here. Lawrence is going to hand it off. Now it's going to be a reverse out to the right side is Kendrick, and Kendrick's chopped down at the 20.
That September 29th game, think about what was going on around these parts, right? Kelly Bryant is demoted.
So one more game for Clemson, and they can walk into the Big 12 ACC championship sitting undefeated if they can go ahead and beat South Carolina in a week. Ikes the ball back to throw. Lawrence underneath and incomplete, intended for Amari Rogers.
And that's certainly if Clemson is able to continue on like we think they will and get to that college football playoff, they'll look back. And Chase Bryce has played an integral role in that. And Dabo Sweeney said to us yesterday, they came into the season with 2 quarterbacks that they really felt good about, obviously, in Kelly Bryant and Trevor Lawrence. They found out that Chase Bryce is a football player. Yeah. Dabo said he's going to be the 5th-year senior. Everybody said, where have you been hiding this guy?
3rd and 7 coming up here. Lawrence snaps the ball, looking right side, now looking back left, throws, incomplete, broken up, and a good play by Johnson. There is a flag down. And this is holding on Johnson. Wow. Can't catch a break here.
Kind of tell how hard you played tonight if you do. Wearing those white uniforms. A whole lot of grass stains. No, they can hold their head up high. They have played with effort tonight. They have not backed down. They have not been as talented, and we knew that. But they have not shied away from the physicality of this game on either offense or defense. Again, just showing us they are playing without their 4 best defensive players tonight. Then their emotional leader, Ben Humphries, goes at it. And then Brandon Hill was ejected.
Ikes the ball. Here's a throw into the end zone. And it's brought down. Touchdown. TJ Chase.
That's 3 consecutive touchdowns by Clemson for their last 5 possessions. They figure things out. They only had a touchdown in their first 7 possessions. So
Tap good kick on the way and good for Hugel. And we'll be back shortly as we try to conclude this ball game. Welcome back. Oklahoma extends their lead up to 35-17 against Kansas, and Humphreys comes out of the locker room. Ben Humphreys for Duke, the captain, on crutches. 11:21 left to go here in the fourth quarter. 35-6, Clemson. It would take a miracle for Duke to come back and win this ball game, and I highly doubt. In fact, I'm ruling it almost impossible based on. Actually, pretty much impossible based on the way that their defense has played, their offense has played and their defense has played.
He's rushing the punter. Now he's in punt protector. But he's got a block for his punter. Puts his face in there. Then he's on the edge and field goal. I mean, this guy does everything. And after every play he plays on defense, then he's playing on all these special teams. He's the first guy into the end zone to celebrate when the offense scores. There is no limit to this kid's energy and his contribution to the team.
So here we go with Daniel Jones in the pistol formation. And fakes the handoff back to throw. Jones going to dump it off short. It's going to be caught by the tight end, getting a gain of about 8 yards here.
He wants to play as many snaps as he possibly can. He's still doing Power Ranger dances over there. Having a good time. And of course, he is the first ever, as Dabo said, two-time curtain call to be on it last season.
Second and 2 coming up here for the Duke Blue Devil offense with 15 seconds and counting to snap the ball here. Daniel Jones handing it off to the left side is going to be Deion Jackson getting a gain of about 3 yards out to the 36 and moving the chains for the Duke Blue Devils. First down and 10.
He's the least talented of the group. But it's all those little things that he does and the energy that he brings that makes him so attractive to the NFL team. And so durable, guys.
First and 10 coming up here. 10:20 left to go. Ikes the ball. Here's a handoff to Deion Jackson getting a gain of 1. For he is taken down here. And some new names that we could possibly learn in the future. This one is Chris Register.
I still remember when William broken first onto the scene, right? It was that fake punt, right, in the bowl game several years back. And everybody's like, no way, that was a defensive tackle that just caught that ball on a fake punt. But we have been really fortunate.
Second and 9 coming up here in the fourth quarter. Back to throw is Daniel Jones looking left side, and he's going to wrap him up and take him down. Nice play here by Denzel Johnson. Bobo on the reception, his first one of the day is Jake Bobo.
Overshadowed by Dexter Lawrence and by Christian Wilkins, but I think Albert Huggins is an NFL defensive lineman. That's how good this guy is.
9:20 and counting here in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 11 for the Duke offense. Ikes the ball. Here's the handoff to Deion Jackson. Nowhere to go as he gets a gain of 1. And it'll be 4th and 10 coming up here.
That's the point you were making. In this front seven for Clemson, they've got 8 or 9 seniors that will not be coming back next year. So it's going to be a complete rebuild defensively. They've got talent, yes, but they won't have experience on that front seven. And so the work will be cut out for this coaching staff on the defensive side next year. 10th punt of the night upcoming for Austin Parker.
10 seconds to snap the ball. Austin Parker making his 10th punt here. Amari Rogers back deep. Gets it off cleanly, and Rogers calls fair catch at the 26.
Fair catch. 8:20 to go. Here in the fourth. It's all Clemson. And the party on senior night is well underway.
We'll be right back. 35-6. Clemson dominant.
Dang it, Hampton, you
Welcome back. One left to go here. Number 2 team in the country looking to pull away. Chase Bryce in the game. Getting it off Tavian Feaster on the carry. Getting about a gain of 3.
They saw the defensive lineman dancing up on the sideline over the years. Dabo was to show some of the moves. That's easy when you're winning all the time, right? Right. But the unexpected part might have been this. The state cut. Oh, some staff members. Little James Brown? Yeah. Was last week.
2nd and 6. Used to run out to the right side and only a gain of 1.
Carolina for the 3rd consecutive year. Coach Cut getting loose a little bit last week.
3rd and 7 coming up here for the Duke Blue Devil defense, who's trying to hold Clemson from scoring any more points. 11th season as a Duke head coach for David Cutcliffe, 2012 and 2013. Coach of the year in the ACC. Here's Chase Bryce back to throw. Bryce looking right side, throws, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended there for DeAndre Overton. There'll be a 4th and 7 coming up for the Clemson Tigers, who go 3 and out under the first possession under Chase Bryce.
And they've been together here in the ACC for the past 10 years, each of them, and developed a really nice relationship. Gone back a long ways, over 20 years. They're 2 of the best that we have in college football. 2 of the best coaches, 2 of the best men and leaders of men that we have. And,
Carson King is the one who's going to get punting duties for this one. TJ ramming. And false start here by Clemson.
Redshirt junior from Nashville.
Carson King from Nashville. Trying to get this punt off. Chad Smith was the one who was called on the false start, so Carson King's going to move back about 5 yards. Going to be punting inside his own 15, it looks like. Standing at his own 8. Coming after this kick is going to be Duke, and they back off of the coverage. King drills this one, and it's going to be it's going to be fair caught at the 27. And a nice punt there. 7:06 left to go here. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for more college football action. Welcome back. First down and 10 here at the 44. I missed a couple plays. Backups in now for Duke. Handing it off here to Mateo Durant, the freshman running back who gets his first carry of the ball game, getting a gain of 1.
Congratulations. Engaged this past summer to Alexander Thompson, who was the guard for the Davidson women's basketball team. At the same time, Steph was running the show for the men's basketball team. How about that? That's cool. We're friends? Friends? Yes,
Second and 9 coming up here. 2 guys wide right, 1 guy wide left. Here's a fake handoff back to throw here for Quentin Harris. Harris going to throw on the run. Incomplete. 3rd and 9 coming up here.
No, it's not in the car. You know? No, I don't. You have to stay today with a patellar bruise. By the way, injured. That's pretty cool. Of course, that's where your mind went, leaving. Card of the gift. Hey, that's one reason.
5:14 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The score is 6-35. Duke trailing Clemson here. 3rd and 9 coming up here. Hikes the ball. Here's a play action. Back to throw. Harris stepping up. Now he's going to scramble. Harris getting out to about the 49.
Tell Quentin Harris to go down feet first, please. Xavier Kelly. Take a look at this backup defense for the Clemson Tigers. Those guys don't look like backups, do they? Look at guys like Albert Huggins.
Price coming into the game for this Clemson defense. 403 total yards for Clemson to 262 for Duke. So slow starts today, I would say, for everyone but Notre Dame in the top 10. I can't think of anyone who didn't. Oklahoma got off slow against Kansas. Ohio State got off slow and ended a little bit slow on the defensive side against Maryland. West Virginia lost. Here comes a punt unit onto the field, by the way, and gets it off cleanly. This one's going to take a bounce out of bounds around the 6.5-yard line. But Michigan struggled a lot against Indiana. Alabama even was tied up at halftime against the Citadel. Clemson here was down 6-0 at the end of the 1st quarter. And we've yet to see Washington State. LSU, I guess, didn't struggle because they had Rice today. And there's no struggling against Rice. And Georgia didn't struggle against UMass, but that's about it. I mean, everyone else kind of struggled. Right now, the Longhorns are up 21 against Iowa State in the 3rd quarter. 36 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. It would be tremendous if Iowa State can come back from this deficit, not being able to move the football all game for Brock Purdy's offense. So here's what I'm going to do. This game's basically over. I'm going to go ahead and set up a stream for Washington State, Arizona. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in a bit.